Elon Musk sat down with Tucker Carlson for a wide-ranging conversation. He's gone all in on Donald Trump, even showing up to stump for him this weekend in Butler, Pennsylvania, the site of the first assassination attempt against the GOP candidate. Now, one of Musk's comments has landed hard. Let's listen.
Which is like nobody's even bothering to try to kill Kamala because it's pointless. What do you achieve? Nothing.
No, it's totally
Just find
right.
another puppet.
Exactly. That's
It's no point in killing.
it's deep and true, though.
Nobody's trying to kill Joe Biden.
It's
It would be pointless.
Totally.
They also talked about the Jeffrey Epstein client list.
I mean, they've put like whatever, 500 or 600 January 6 protesters in prison, and not one person on the Epstein client list.
Will that ever come out, do you think?
You know, I think part of why Kamala's getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
I saw you sighing.
The world's richest man. Does he know that Donald Trump might be on that client list? Has he seen those photos? Those aren't doctored photos. I mean, this is wild. I mean, this man is so down a dark rabbit hole. Like, he's in the depths of the internet. He is QAnon.
Elon?
Yeah. If he weren't a billionaire, he probably would have stormed the Capitol himself, but he doesn't want to be in the crowd with people and actually, like, get physically involved. I mean, he basically...
You don't think there's anything to the idea that wealthy or politically connected people are hoping the Epstein client list is not
Of course.
public, and there could be complicity with top law enforcement or political aspects of law enforcement? The prosecution of Epstein in the first place, the initial one was by a Trump appointee, was handled very softly, and he had all these connections to the Virgin Islands and to Stacey Plaskett and to Bill Gates and the Clintons and Trump. Yes, traveled on was years and years and years ago. Bank of America, very complicit with Epstein from all the emails that were released showing a warm relationship with him after the initial conviction for sex-related crimes. At least with Trump and even Bill Clinton, that was all from before. There is some plausible deniability to knowing what he was. There's no plausible deniability after he's already been arrested and prosecuted for sex crimes, and Bill Gates and Bank of America and the Virgin Islands still tried to have a relationship with him at that point.
I completely agree with you, and I think the way that you framed it is a very responsible way of framing this, because it was based on reporting. I mean, the first time that Epstein was prosecuted, there was a great southern Florida reporter who relentlessly did the work on Epstein, and he got convicted, and even after that, they still protected him. I mean, it is a protection racket in a sense that there's obviously a lot of different assumptions as to what Epstein was doing and Ghislaine Maxwell were doing, and there are endless podcasts that dig into their relationships, and Ghislaine Maxwell's father, who mysteriously died on a boat that was named after her. Yeah, it's questionable, and clearly they were warming up to the rich and the powerful and potentially, holding information on them. On whether it was his island in the Caribbean or his home in New Mexico, that huge sprawling estate, or on the Lolita Express, where he would travel across the world with people like Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. But also part of that racket is, just like Puff Daddy, Diddy, whatever, he was a legitimate producer, and he had legitimate relationships in the music industry, and there were normal hour business operations, and then there were after-hour business operations. So it is kind of a question of, well, okay, was Bill Gates involved in anything, or was he just, going to one of these conferences that Epstein would put on, where a bunch of other rich and powerful people were? I think it would be very interesting. I would love for that to break open, but I don't think Elon Musk's conspiracy that Kamala's in on covering it up, more so even than Donald Trump. Get real. And let's not forget what he said about Kamala Harris. Nobody wants to. I don't even want to repeat that. I don't even want to repeat that. That's
so. But it is for all of the Democratic and mainstream media and liberal progressive people bemoaning the supposed violent rhetoric or hateful rhetoric or incendiary rhetoric that they say is coming out of the right. it is true that the victim of attempted political violence lately has been Donald Trump.
Totally.
Not Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, not top Democrats.
As far as
Thank
we know,
God.
they also have extra security. I mean, they get death threats every single day.
Maybe Donald Trump should have extra security too. I don't know.
I mean, they've upped it. Okay, so
Yeah, after the first time,
I agree.
after the second time, they've actually upped it.
This is a bipartisan issue. You saw that hearing.
So that one guy said, "Yeah, well, he's at a golf course. What do you want us to do?" I don't know. He's not the president. I don't know. Provide the same level of security as he is the former president running again. It's an unprecedented situation.
Right.
You should provide him with adequate security.
And it's showing the flaws in the Secret Service, which has been reported in the past that the Secret Service relies heavily on local law enforcement, and not every, local law enforcement is, as we've seen over the years, is really up to par. And imagine what happens when they go overseas. How do they interact with different governments and who have different, goals? This is really a difficult situation, and it has bipartisan support. That hearing, AOC eviscerated the Secret Service as much as the right wing eviscerated the Secret Service. But it's not responsible speech for a CEO. For Elon Musk to say that, even Tucker Carlson felt a little uncomfortable. He was like, whoa, that's like a line you don't cross.
Yeah, the phrasing was unfortunate because, and also it's not out of the realm of question. Someone could try to assassinate her or Biden or something. No, I don't think he was asking for it. I think what he was saying, and I don't agree with how he said it, but what he was saying is that Kamala Harris is she's just a generic Democrat. We don't know what she stands for, her philosophy is. If she was replaced by one of the other leading Democratic candidates, there would be no change in philosophy or policy, or she's just a generic D, right? What is she? She doesn't. I don't know if I don't think she stands for progressive values. Maybe she secretly does. She has undone all of them, but she's pretty indistinguishable. She has no philosophy or ideology of her own. She's just purely a political operator.
Instead of saying, well, if they X'd her.
I mean, the way Elon Musk...
And they also said that about Biden, by the way.
Well, yeah, the way Elon Musk and the right views Donald Trump is that he is a unique political actor who is not replaceable.
I
just
agree.
A generic Republican, right? Democrats feel that way too.
I agree. He's an authoritarian, once-in-a-lifetime psychopath.
That's why... But people who are from the favorable to Donald Trump perspective think he's so at risk because he represents a challenge to the status quo, to the establishment, to the vast federal bureaucracy, to the deep state, to the bipartisan foreign policy, to all sorts of things. And so he is vulnerable because if you take him out, that vision will not be executed by any other Republican or any other political figure whatsoever. Whereas if you took out Biden or Harris, it would just be continuity. And there is something to that.
That is an argument.
And you can, even from a negative anti-Trump view, such as your own, there is something to that.
That is an argument, and that is a great argument to have. That is not what Elon Musk said. And this is the problem with Elon Musk and his circle of advisors around him and his yes men, is that no one ever tells him what to say and how to say it. Maybe that doesn't sound good, and he doesn't really read the room well.
There's something good about that.
He doesn't read the room well. No, I mean, you shouldn't just say every thought in your head. We're humans.
Well, yeah,
we
but
have
you shouldn't just
empathy and tone deaf.
Mindlessly recite talking points from people trying to keep you safe.
That's not what I said. Someone could say to him, "Hey, Elon, you sound like a moron right now, and it actually is going to hurt your bottom line. And you're actually not helping Donald Trump when you say these things. If you're going to be the king, the surrogate." Even Tucker Carlson was like, "Ooh, I don't know how I want to handle that." And I know Tucker, and he does not hold back on anything.
All right, tell us what you think. More Rising right after this.